Okay, it's recording. Okay, so let's look at the search. So I'll start with just like the basic usage of search. The first thing to know that might not be evident is that this doesn't work like Google. So when you do a free search, you have to put only one keyword and not two like unless your keyword has multiple words in it. It will work only if you put one word. So if I say Uruk and I search for that, then it will find all the texts that have Uruk in some of the metadata fields. So it could be the provenance or it could be the period because Uruk appears in both of those. So this is how the free search works. Um, Welcome back, Lars. Um, so if you want to restrict your search to specific types of entities, you can restrict it here. Um, So say I want to search for Uruk only for the period, then I search like this. And then my results will be for artifacts from that period only and not from well, I mean, they will probably be from Uruk also, but they have been picked out of the database just because they're part of a period that has the word Uruk in it. So this is how these work. However, you can also do an empty free search. Whoops. Sorry, I clicked too fast. I'll just go back to the main page to make sure there's nothing in the URL. So I'm on the main page and I click on search without having it filled anything in the search. And then I get all the results. So this leads me to being able to use the filters. Actually, I didn't show that you could have more than, so you could add different, say you want to artifacts from a specific collection and a specific period. You can add those to create a restricted data set based on your choices right away. So if you fill the search like this and you search, then you'll have this exact data set to work with. However, I have a new feature, the filters, which makes it possible to not have to search. And it's a bit like the browse if you'd like, so you can see the list of the choices available for each, and you can drill down based on those. Say I just want the early dynastic text from Adab, then I didn't have to type any of it, and I didn't have to know how early dynastic is written. Is it ED? Is there a space between ED and 3 or not? Or is it early dynastic in full? I'm not sure. So if I search and I go to the filters, then I can just click on it and it'll select these specific entries based on my needs. And one really nice feature of the filters is that you have the count that's available for each filter. So you can always know how many, say you've searched for artifacts that come from Uruk, and then you look at the period, you can see well, then I already selected. So let's check the materials. So for early dynastic 3B text from Adab, I can know the numbering of each based on the materials. So there's 383 clay artifacts from Adab from that period. And it does the same for each metadata field. See, what's the distribution and collections of these artifacts? Then I know, like if I'm specifically interested in those from that period, then I know where I need to go if I want to study them further. I'll redo a simple search just to show the bottom part of the filters. So this section of the filters is adds a lot of customization to selecting artifacts. So then you can decide, I want artifacts, only those that have a transliteration. This is especially useful if you want to teach a class or something and you want to show information to the students, or if you want to have a better overview of a specific corpus, but you don't want to see, like you want to actually look at the text, and you can choose these. Textual annotation, so for linguistic annotations, also translations, that's really useful, especially if you can't read those languages. Then you can choose the with translation only when you do your search, and then you can go to these artifacts. We even have like a filter for the language of the translations. Most are in English, of course. And we have the same for the images. Very useful, especially if you're preparing a presentation, you want images to put on your slideshow, then you can select only the artifacts that are specifically interesting for your research, and only those with photos, and then you can choose and pick the photos you're interested in. We also have a few entries that have chemical data for them now, so hopefully that will grow with time. So these are the filters. These are how they work, and for me, this is uh, the most useful addition to the new interface of CDLI, because I almost never use the search anymore. I just use the filters to drill down because it's faster. Like it's clicking a few times is faster than typing it up. Then for the results, so the results are organized like this as cards, but you can also see them in a table format. So I'm clicking there to see the table format. So if you actually search for text, so let me go back to the main. I'll just search for like Lugal. And then I go in the tabular display of the search results. Then I see the word I searched for in context. Um, I mean, Lugal it might be also part of names of publications. So I search free search. If you want to make sure you only get hits that they found the final word Lugal in translations, you would have to select translations. But it's probably very rare since it's an ancient word. So you can see in context like that. Um, and you can choose how many results you want to see per page. And this has an influence not only on what's displayed on the page, but also what you can export. So the export is limited to the current page that you're looking at. So if you want to download the metadata of a set of artifacts, especially if it's large numbers of artifacts, then you would have to change the number of artifacts you want to see per page before you click on download. And so I'm not going to go too much in detail with that. But the catalog is available here in CSV and TSV formats. And also the textual data is available as ATF. That's the basic text version of the transliterations. And so this will download all the transliterations for the current page in one file. We can explore the others in questions if you're interested.